Moshi. Moshi is a four-toed hedgehog. More importantly, an African four-toed hedgehog. And my name is Michelle, and I am a human. So, Moshi here, where do you think he's going to live? African four-toed hedgehog. Africa, yeah, not a trick question, I swear. So Moshi here is going to be found in Africa. He's found in the savannas and cropland areas. So if you guys go over and see our elephants, you will see that we've tried really hard to make it look exactly like what the savannah would look like. So if you went over and saw our elephant exhibit, kind of picture that as where you would find Moshi out in the wild. And what do you think Moshi eats? What do you think? Yeah. Berries, a little bit of that. So we've got berries. What else do you guys think? What's something that's protein packed for these guys? Yeah? Insects, exactly. So they're going to eat insects, different kinds of bugs, like termites and ants and grubs, anything they can really get their hands on. And the cool thing is that there's actually a name for that. So who knows what it's called when an animal eats only meat? You guys can just shout it out. Carnivore, yeah. And what is an animal that only eats plants? Herbivore, exactly. And what are we? We both omnivores, yeah. So what do you think something that eats insects would be called? Insectivore? Yeah, they're called insectivores. And insectivores are a type of omnivore, so they do eat different plants as well. Somebody said berries over here. They do eat different types of berries. Moshi does not like his green beans. That's the only thing that he does not like. So we give them all kinds of stuff. We'll give them a little pellet called insectivore, which has a bunch of crushed up bugs in it, and it's almost like a little pellet that's just a bunch of bugs. And then we also will give them things like corn and apples, but Moshi does not like those green beans. He's not a fan. So just like you guys have preferences on what you like to eat, so does Moshi. So we were talking a little bit about how they like to eat insects. Now, how about this? Did you guys see the big termite mound that was in the elephant exhibit? It looked like a big pile of mud in the middle of the exhibit. If you didn't see it, try and go back and see where it is. It's actually where termites will make their homes. And what they'll do is hedgehogs will climb to the top of the termite mound, and then they'll just sit there at the openings and they'll eat the bugs as they come in and out. So that's kind of like a drive-through for them. So they just sit there and they wait for all the bugs to come to them. Now, do you guys think it would be very safe being up that high with no cover? No, it's not very safe for him. So he's going to be able, he's going to have a way to get away really fast. And so there's one thing that Sonic the Hedgehog did get right, and it's rolling into a ball and rolling down hills. So what they'll do is they'll curl up in a ball, and they'll let gravity do the work, and they'll roll down the termite mound and then run for the nearest hole. Unfortunately, hedgehogs are not blue and they don't collect rings. I've been trying to get Moshi to collect rings for me, but he's not into it. But they are going to use that in order to get away from one of their biggest predators. And that predator is called the Milky Eagle Owl. And the Milky Eagle Owl is also known as the Milky Eagle Owl. We actually have them over at our Wings of Wonder section in the north side of the zoo. And you can go and see them. They have bare eyelids, so they look really funny when they blink. So it looks like they've got naked eyelids because they've got feathers everywhere but right there. So those are the owls that are going to be hunting for hedgehogs. And they've got really big talons and they're super sharp. And so they don't have any problems picking up something this spiky. But that's how he's going to protect himself otherwise. If an animal comes up and tries to eat him, he's going to curl up into a ball and he's going to make all of these spikes stand straight up. And these spikes are actually made out of the same material as your hair and your nails. So everybody feel your hair and your nails. That's the same material. Pretty cool, right? Same material as this guy too. And porcupine quills, they're also made out of keratin. And tortoise shells are made out of keratin. So there's lots of different things that are made out of that material. Now, he's got a muscle under every single one of these spines. And he's able to control those spines. So if he does feel threatened, he's going to pop up. And he's going to kind of make a little huffing noise. And he's going to pop. And that would be like if you guys were eating a piece of pizza, and then your pizza suddenly grew spikes and punched you in the face. Would you want to eat that piece of pizza anymore? No, exactly. That's what Moshi wants that predator to know. He wants him to know, hey, you try to eat me, it's not going to work out very well. You're not going to have a very good time. So that's how he's going to protect himself from all the other predators besides the Milky Eagle Owl. Do you guys have any questions about Moshi? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, so yeah, there actually is something called anointing that hedgehogs do that she kind of mentioned, and it's basically them frothing at the mouth when they smell something interesting or something that they might like. They'll actually froth at the mouth, and then they'll lick whatever it is that smells like that, and then they'll spread that kind of gooey substance all over the back of their body. It's called anointing. Who here wears perfume or cologne? Yeah, exactly. So it may be because they think it smells good and maybe they want to attract a mate. Or it could even be for protection. They do that sometimes with poisonous animals. They'll eat the poisonous animal and then they'll froth at the mouth and they'll spread it on their spines. And that may be a way to kind of take on some of those poisonous properties that those animals had. So it may also be for protection, but no one really knows, actually. So we don't know for sure, but we can always think that, they're just getting their perfume out, getting ready, Moshi's favorite thing to anoint himself with is peanut butter. So we'll come in the morning and he'll have peanut butter all over his back, and it's super delicious. Any other questions about Moshi? Yeah. He is really, really cool, isn't he? Yeah, this guy is pretty awesome. He is about 2 years old now, so for them, 5 years old is about as old as they're going to get. So he's got a little while to go, but he is a cool dude. He came to us, and he wasn't really trained at all to be on stage like this with a bunch of people around. So it took him a little while to kind of get used to being out here on stage, but now he's pretty good, as you guys can see. He just kind of sits here and hangs out and shows how cute he is. Yeah. Oh, that's a great question. So there's other types of hedgehogs out there that live in Europe, and they're a lot bigger. They're probably going to be about that big. And the main reason why these guys are smaller is because they are found in Africa and they need to be in those little burrows in there. The ones in Europe are going to live in hedgerows. That's actually where they got their name from. So you guys think hedgehog. What they do is they live in hedges in Europe, and then they will root around in the dirt just like a pig. So hedgehog, that's how they got their name. So those were the original hedgehogs to be found in Europe, and then we do have other species that live in Africa, but they're just adapted for a different kind of lifestyle. Mm-hmm. How much do they weigh? Well, I only know in grams because that is how we weigh all of our smaller animals. So he's about, let's see, I'm doing math. Don't worry. I'm doing this. About half a pound. So he's not very heavy, but he's definitely very spiky. If he wanted to make this uncomfortable for me, he totally could. Yeah.
How does the spikes come out?
How do the spikes come out? Well, actually, the spikes are kind of like our hair. And although they don't come out as often as maybe porcupine quills, they do come out like our hair does. So you know how everybody kind of loses hair as they're growing new hair? That's the same thing with hedgehogs. They'll lose some of their spines sometimes, and that's just because new spines are growing in on top. Yeah, one more question. Why doesn't he bite? Well, wait.
Why does he need the spikes?
Oh, why does he need the spikes? Well, remember when we were talking about how he protects himself? Yeah, he's going to use those spikes and he's going to stick them straight up. And that would be like, remember we said that your pizza punching you in the face with spikes? That wouldn't be very cool, right? You would be like, oh, I don't want that pizza anymore. That's the same thing with hedgehogs. All right, you guys have been an awesome audience and had awesome questions for me. Well, Moshi's going to head back inside, but we do have presentations every 30 minutes, so our next animal will be a tortoise. Most likely our radiated tortoises, so they're kind of a bigger tortoise. If you guys want to come and see those, definitely come on back and visit. Otherwise, if you want to see maybe our mystery animal or our black stork, come on back after you go and see maybe the gorillas and the elephants. But whatever you guys do choose to do, I just want you guys to have an awesome day and learn something and have some fun and have an awesome day here at Dallas Zoo.